Clarence Darrow invented the trial lawyer, and no one has had a greater impact on the legal profession than Darrow. He shaped the way the law is practiced today. A Passion for Justice is a one-person play that not only tells the story of Darrow's life, but using his own words, recreates the experience of Clarence Darrow in the courtroom. And rather than bring the audience back in time, it brings Darrow to the present. The audience becomes the jury for what are widely considered to be the greatest closing arguments in legal history.
Prosecution says, gentlemen, that this isn't a race question. This is a murder case. We don't want any prejudice. We don't want the other side to have any. Race and color have nothing to do with this case. This is a case of murder. I insist that there's nothing but prejudice in this case. That if it was reversed, and 11 white men had shot and killed a black while defending their home and their lives against a mob of blacks, nobody would have dreamed of having them indicted. I know what I'm talking about. So do you. They would have been given medals instead.
I've been performing Clarence Darrow in A Passion for Justice for almost 25 years, longer than anyone else. The show has been performed for and recommended by some of the top trial lawyers in the country, as well as some of the most elite and prestigious law firms, legal groups, bar associations, and law schools. Like Hal Holbrook's Mark Twain Tonight, no two performances are exactly the same, depending on the audience response. And each presentation is adjusted and adapted to the particular audience, group, and venue.
One time, I had a particularly effective adversary, and I got the idea of running a long wire through one of the big cigars that I would often puff on during the trial. Well, about halfway through his closing argument, I started drawing on that stogie. And after a while, the ash on the tip was about 2 inches long. I could see some jurors looking over from time to time, wondering when I was going to flick that ash. But I didn't move. I was just puffing away.
It brings Darrow alive in a totally unique way. It's also substantial enough to have the potential to qualify for CLE credit in ethics and can be expanded to include workshops, post-show discussions, seminars, breakout sessions, Q&As, and much more.
Along comes somebody who says, we have got to believe it as I believe it. It is a crime to know more than I know. And they publish a law to inhibit learning. This law says that it shall be a criminal offense to teach in the public school any account of the origin of man that is in conflict with the divine account found in the Bible. It makes the Bible the yardstick to measure every man's intellect, to measure every man's intelligence, to measure every man's learning.
The show also presents a much more flawed, conflicted, and contradictory Darrow. He wasn't the hero he's always been portrayed as. He definitely had a dark side, and it includes his own trial for bribery and jury tampering, which I think ultimately makes him more accessible and more human. Sometimes the legend doesn't do justice to the man.
I could have tried the McNamara case, and a large class of the working people would have believed that if these men had been hanged, that they were not guilty. I could have done this and saved myself. But I knew that if these men hanged, a hatred would have settled into the hearts of a great mass of men. A hatred so deep, so profound, that it would never die away.
There's nothing else like it. It's entertaining, it's engaging, it's educational, it's thought-provoking, it's powerful, it's moving, it's about something. And above all, it's inspiring.
I am pleading for life, understanding, charity, kindness, and the infinite mercy that considers all. I am pleading that we overcome cruelty with kindness and hatred with love.
It's the perfect program for law firm retreats, ethics seminars, law schools, bar association events. People who know everything about Darrow, people who know nothing about Darrow. It can change your perspective of trial advocacy and the law. In fact, I've had a number of lawyers tell me that it has helped to reshape their focus and put them back in touch with why they became involved in the law in the first place.
Why did they kill little Bobby Franks? Not for money,
not for spite, not for hate. No, they killed little Bobby Franks for the experience. They killed him as they might kill a spider or a fly. They killed him because they were made that way. Because somewhere in the infinite processes that go to the making up of the boy or the man, something slipped. And these unfortunate lads sit here, hated, despised, outcasts, with the community shouting for their blood.
When it comes to legal and corporate events, there are a lot of quality keynote speakers, presenters, and programs to choose from. But this is different. This is not a prepared speech in a PowerPoint. It's not a motivational TED Talk. This is Clarence Darrow in action. This is America's greatest criminal defense lawyer come to life. This puts the audience in the jury box for the greatest trial lawyer of them all, and the landmark cases that are more about today than they've ever been. This is as close as you can get to the experience of Clarence Darrow in the courtroom. I rest my case.